Hello everyone! Today we are going to talk about the different types of cells. There are three domains out there. There is bacteria, archaea, and eukarya. Organisms that are under the two domains, bacteria and archaea, we refer to them as prokaryotes. Organisms under the domain eukarya are known as eukaryotes. Examples of eukaryotic organisms are plants, animals, fungi, protists. Their cells have organelles. Eukaryotic organisms are either unicellular, meaning that they are made up of just one cell, like amoeba, which is a protist living in fresh water, or they are multicellular organisms, meaning that they are made up of multiple cells, like our human cells or plant cells. Prokaryotes, examples of prokaryotes, we've got bacteria. Some bacteria are disease-causing, and some are pretty beneficial, like the ones you consume when you eat yogurt. Prokaryotes are known to be unicellular, meaning that they are made up of just one cell. They do not have membrane-bound organelles. Now, a common feature between all cells, whether they are prokaryotes or eukaryotes, all cells are going to have a plasma membrane. So you have a picture of a bacteria right here. You see the plasma membrane right there. A plant cell also has a plasma membrane. An animal cell also has that plasma membrane right there. What's another common feature that they would all have? They all have DNA. Right here in the plants and right here in the animal. What's another feature that they would all have? The cytoplasm, which is basically the interior of the cell. So those are three common features between all cells. Now, of course, there are some differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. As you can see, those eukaryotes right here, they are much more complex. They have more membrane-bound organelles inside of them, versus a prokaryote does not have any of those membrane-bound organelles. Now, there are differences between eukaryotes as well. So we do have here a plant cell and an animal cell. Even though they're both eukaryotes and they do share common features amongst them, they also have differences. So plant cells have chloroplasts, and those chloroplasts are the ones that help them photosynthesize, make their own food. They also have cell walls that animal cells do not have, and they have a central vacuole. So as you can see, a plant cell has some features that an animal cell would not have, such as we said, a cell wall, a central vacuole, and a chloroplast. Plasma membrane is found amongst all cells. How does a plasma membrane look like? It's a bilayer, meaning that it's made up of two layers. It's a phospholipid, so it's made up of phosphates and lipids. The phosphate heads are facing both the inside and the outside of the cell. So you have some phosphates right here facing the outside of the cell, and you've got some phosphate heads down here facing the inside of the cell. Inside the cell there is fluid, and outside the cell there is also fluid. So those phosphate heads are known to be hydrophilic. Hydro meaning water, philic meaning loving. So those phosphate heads, they can tolerate water, and so we refer to them as hydrophilic. Right here in the middle, we do have the we do have the lipids, and the lipids right here in the middle those are known to be hydrophobic. Hydrophobic meaning that they do not tolerate water. They have phobia of water. So that's how a plasma membrane looks like, kind of like a sandwich, with two layers of phosphate heads, and right in the middle you do have the fat. Embedded in the plasma membrane, you have those proteins right there, and those proteins embedded in the plasma membrane act as channels to allow substances to move into and out of the cell. Another common organelle found in all eukaryotes, it's the nucleus. In the nucleus, we refer to it as the control center because this is where the DNA resides. Human DNA is known to be linear, and it's about 6 foot long. So to fit into the nucleus, it has to coil itself around some proteins, and when it coils itself around proteins, we refer to it as the chromatin. Now, when the chromatin coils itself even more, we refer to it as the chromosome. The nucleus, it's covered by an envelope, and that envelope, it has pores within it to allow the passage of substances into and out of the nucleus. But the DNA is never going to leave through these pores. The DNA always stays inside of the nucleus. Inside of the nucleus, there is an organelle known as the nucleolus. And the nucleolus, think about it as the manufacturing site for ribosome production.